Thanks for considering doing this course on flowcharting in Excel. Now, I use the word flowchart, flowsheet interchangeably. If you're an engineer, you're probably more used to the idea of a flow sheet. If you're a business modeler, you're more used to the idea of a flowchart, but they are in fact the same. This course is designed for people who want to be able to use Excel professionally. The idea of using Excel to create a whole series of interconnected worksheets and cell formulas and workbooks without some sort of diagram explaining the connections, one could say is almost a form of abuse or torture to the poor individual who has to try and understand it. Now, there's a saying I learned as a child. I was told it was Confucius. Historically, that's not correct. But as I was told it was Confucius, so I'm repeating it here. A picture tells 1,000 words. There's a lot of history to this particular expression, but basically, in Excel, if you can diagrammatically explain what you're doing, it is infinitely easier than trying to chase through what's in the spreadsheet, looking up, doing trace precedence, doing trace dependence, and so forth. So we could in fact say that there's two types of Excel users. There's the one who doesn't believe in worrying about figures, and those who do. Those who do believe in doing figures are going to create logically well-structured spreadsheets and also seek opportunities to do automation. Now, here's an example of a flow sheet, one that I use. This is a mineral processing flow sheet. I won't dwell on it. I understand many of you are not mineral processors, and I won't explain what the units are. But all this is constructed in Excel, and I can create hyperlinks between these units, between the connectors, and relate that to the data. This is obviously going to be much clearer for someone to get a broader picture of what is within the spreadsheet than someone who tries to understand it without looking at such a figure. So there's so many advantages of flowcharting in Excel. It provides a visual representation of your Excel process, forces you, the developer, to think about the Excel process and identify whether or not you've got unrelated processes in your workbook. You can use it to identify the extent of inter-workbook linkage, and you can actually link up your flow sheet to navigation to go to and from the data easily. It identifies where you might have a model, and the subject of modeling in Excel is a separate topic, but I would say that you don't want to start modeling or calling yourself a modeler if you can't draw a diagram of what you actually got in your spreadsheet. And it identifies ways to simplify data flow. So you can look at it and see that you've got circular loops and so forth, and you might realize, because you're visually seeing it, that you need to restructure the way that you have your workbook. So there's heaps of advantages. This course really is providing you with a skill set to use many of the features in Excel. Now, it can be argued, and there's some validity to the argument, that maybe you don't want to use Excel for flowcharts. You can use other systems such as Word, PowerPoint, Visio, and all that is to some extent true. But if you want to make sure that Excel is your preferred method of examination of the data, then you will want to know how to do it in Excel. And there are other advantages, which we don't go into the course much, but once you start creating a flow sheet, it leads to things like automation using VBA. So my vision is, and this is a long-term vision, is that from flow sheets we understand how to capture models, and we can do flow sheet based simulation, which in turn means that Excel can be a visual programming tool rather than a cell-based tool. And if you want more information on that longer term vision, please look up excelflow.net. Now the offerings are that there's a Udemy course where we collate our knowledge about doing flowcharts, and this is the opening presentation on this Udemy course. As well as that, there's software to enable many of the features provided in the course. And if you do complete the course, you'll be given a certificate of participation and completion, if required. Our contact is courses@midastech.net, so if you're interested, just send us an email and we'll send you the information on how to participate in the course. This is the first of many courses being presented by Midas Tech, which is my company, Mining Industry Data Analytics System. The fact I say mining industry shouldn't turn you off. We are definitely broadening our horizons. So even if you come from a business modelling or financial modelling or another form of engineering, these courses will still be of value to you. I look forward to your participation.